Good morning, students. The topic for today is social system. The social system is very closely related to the topic of social structure and social function. So, social system means you can imagine how your college system is. So, your college is part of the society and individuals form the society. So, when I talk about social system, in your mind you imagine about the college, then it will be easy for you to understand. So, each person or group do not act in an independent or isolated manner. For example, in the college, each of you do not behave independently. In the college there are rules which tell what each person has to do. So everybody behaves according to what the college tells them to do. Okay, same way in your house you behave how your parents tell you to do. So nobody behaves in an isolated or independent manner. Everybody has a particular role in the society and they do according to that role. Okay, so based on this role you have interactions or interrelationships with other people. So when you are in college you are supposed to talk to each other and you have friends and you have classes, so you are supposed to talk to the teacher. So there is an interaction and this creates a pattern. So it happens every year. So whether it's a new student or an old student, the same thing continues every year. So when this kind of pattern is created, it's called a social system. So imagine your college and it will be easy for you to apply it in the society. Same way in the society, each person has a role to play and each person does that role. Like a policeman does the policeman's duty, a collector does the collector's duty, a driver does the driver's duty. So when they keep doing that, then a pattern is created, that is the social system. So let's see the definition of social system. According to Loomis, social system is constituted by a plurality of individuals interacting with each other according to shared cultural norms and meanings. So plurality means many people interacting with each other based on their culture. So each culture is different. So based on their culture, they interact with each other. A policeman in India will behave differently than a policeman in America. So like that, each person, according to their culture, their behavior and interaction with other people in the society is different. Spencer says, a society has a structure. It only consists of interrelated parts such as family, religion and state and so on. So society as a whole, take Vellore for example, is a society. So Vellore has a structure. There is Bagayam, Satvachari. So every place together forms Vellore. So inside Bagayam there are many families, many religions. In Satvachari there are many religions, many families, many people. So together they form the social system. Okay, so now we'll see what this means. A social system is an orderly and systematic arrangement of social interactions. And social system means a network of interactive relationships. So every social system is orderly. So for example, when you go on the road, you always go on the left side of the road. If you drive on the right side of the road, it will become disorderly. There will be accidents. So like that, in society, everything happens in an orderly and systematic manner. Social interactions, the talking between people, if it's orderly. In your college, your teacher talks to you in an orderly manner. Student talks back to the teacher in an orderly manner. If they shout at each other, then there will be a fight. Then that becomes disorderly. So in a proper social system, everything is orderly and systematic, and it is interactive relationships. You are not isolated. You talk with each other, and that is interactive relationship. So I hope you understood this concept. You can write it in your own words when a question comes about social system. So now let's see the characteristics of social system. Okay, what are the characteristics? Social system consists of two or more individuals. So in any system there should be at least two people. You cannot have only one person in a system. So it consists of two or more individuals with the established pattern of interaction. They talk in a same kind of way. Individuals in their action take account how others are likely to behave. So in your own class, each of you know how the next person is going to behave. So that is one part of the of the social system. You know how other people are going to behave. If a policeman finds a thief, you know how he will behave. He will beat the thief, or he will drag the thief, he will put handcuff. So like that, every person in the society has a role, and others know what the person is going to do. Individuals in the society behave according to their cultural norms. Okay, every person has norms or rules, and based on that rules they behave. So individuals in the system together work in the pursuit of a common goal. So for example, in your class there are 15 students. So what do you do? All 15 of you have a common goal, that is to pass the first year exam. Then after that you have a common goal of graduating as a medical sociologist. Then the other common goal is to work as a medical sociologist. So every person like that in the society also has a common goal. Either it is to earn money or to be powerful. So everybody has a role in the society, and they have their common goal. Then social system represents the entire society, and in each society there are subsystems. Again, imagine the college. In the college there are different courses, but each course finally there is one goal only. All of you want to pass the exams, you want to get a job. So like that, in the society there may be political system, judicial system, but everything together forms the society. Then each social system has a boundary with which you can identify or differentiate it from other system. For example, same example of your college, your medical sociology, you have identity, you have a uniform. You can be differentiated from a lab student because they have their work, they have their uniform. So like that, in society every social system has a particular boundary, and it can be differentiated from the other social systems. Okay, so now we will see the classification of social systems. There are two classifications based on the evolution. Evolution, how man came from ancient days. So those days they were savages, that means we were wild, there was no civilization. So savagery social system is wild. Then the barbarian social system is uncivilized, and the present system, the civilized social system, is modern. So that is how from wild it became uncivilized, now it is modern. So social system. So that is the change in the social system. Also, based on the type of work that you do, we can classify social system. So initially when people were savages, they were hunting. So that was the hunting social system or the nomadic social system. From that they started planting plants. So it became a pastoral social system. So they started it's not planting plants, they were having cattle. So based on the cattle they used to go to different places. So that is semi-settled. And next one is the agricultural social system, where you started planting plants. That became the rural social system. After the rural social system, maybe in the 1900, 1920, that time, it became the industrial social system with the establishment of many industries. Then it became a mechanical social system. Once you started the industries, mechanics were created, machines were created, so it became a mechanical social system. And now the modern social system is organic social system. So this is the classification of social systems based on livelihood. Livelihood means the type of work that a person does. Okay, I think it's simple, so I hope you understood. Next we'll see the elements of social system. So elements means what are the components, what are the parts of this social system. Every social system has belief and knowledge. Okay, you all have belief in God, you have belief in other people, you have knowledge, you have sentiment, you have goals, objectives, you have norms. Norms means rules, and you have a status, and you have a role to play. So the other aspects are the rank, role, status we will see in detail. Then the power, then the sanction and facility, these are all parts of social system. So it is present in every social system in different people. So people have rank, power, then they have the sanction or authority and facility. This is present in all social systems. Then there are three important elements of social system are the social act, okay, and the person doing the role, who is the actor, and the role of the person or the status of the person. Okay, here you can imagine again the college, or because it says actor, though it is not related, I am telling for example, you can imagine cinema, because all of you watch cinema and you all know about it. Either you can imagine a cinema or you can imagine the people in the college. So in every single person in the college or in cinema, they do act. Okay, there is a role for them to play, or the action that they do. Okay, so that is the social act. Then the person who is doing the role is called the actor. Okay, so suppose I am the principal of the college, so I act as a principal. If you are a student in the college, you act as a student. So that is you become the actor, and your role is the acting. Like you are a student, that is the social act, and you are an actor as a student. And then you have a particular role and status as an individual in that course. Okay, I hope you understood. There are three things here. First is what you do. If you are a student, you are acting as a student. Then you yourself as a person, you are an actor because you are acting in a particular role. The third thing is the role and actual status of the person. So you may be the leader in the class, or you may be second in the class, you may be coming first in your studies, you may be first in sports. That is your role and it is your status in the class. So these are the three different elements of social system. Like that in society, for example, Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of India. He acts as the Prime Minister, and then he has a role. If he is a Prime Minister, he has to walk in a particular way, he has to talk in a particular way. That is the role and the status. Okay, so now let's see what is the act. The act is a process in the social system that motivates individuals or an individual, and they have close relation to the attainment of satisfaction through the interaction. So what you do in the society motivates you. You are a student studying medical sociology, so that is an act that you are doing. For the next 2 years or 3 years, you will be a student. Then you will act as a medical sociology worker. So that is what you do in the society, and the relationship and the satisfaction that you have in that is called the act. Then as an actor, each individual who performs a particular role is the actor. Okay, and the society should have enough actors. For example, we cannot run the college with one student. So like that, the society cannot be made of one person. So every social system, a college system, social system should have many students. Family social system should have at least 2-3 members. The public social, the Vellore social system should have hundreds of people. Like that, every social system should have enough number of people doing their own work. And finally we come to the role and status. So based on what act we are doing in the society, we have a role, and that is the activity. As a student, you are supposed to write, you are supposed to study. That is the role. And status is based on your achievement. If you come first in your class, then all the students in your class will look up to you. That is your status. Same way, if you have a lot of money and you give everybody money, then that is a different kind of status. That is status based on your money power. So like that, we see in the society there are a lot of people with different roles, and they have different status. Status is very important right through your course in second year, third year, because based on your role and status, your health gets affected. Suppose you are poor, then you will not get adequate health facility. So like that, so role, and this is why you are studying the social system, role, status, all in your first year. Okay, so we'll study of all these things, role and society, in detail. So what is a role? So each of you in your class, you are of different sex. Some of you are boys, some of you are girls. You have different colors, you have different height, you have different ages, different date of births, and you come from different backgrounds. Okay, same way people working in this hospital, some are doctors, some are laborers, some are scientists, some are professors. So like that, every person in the society, just in our college, just in our hospital, we have so many different people with different roles. Like that, in the society, if you see, there are hundreds of thousands of people with different roles and different type of work to do. So that is their role. Okay, it refers to the obligation where an individual has towards this group. Role is the function of a particular person in a particular field. Every person has a role to play in society. So I've already explained, it refers to what work you do and that contributes to the group in which you live. Suppose a doctor is in Karigiri, he works by seeing patients. So that is his role in Karigiri hospital. A principal has to run the college, that is his role. A teacher has to teach in the college, that is the teacher's role. Like that, every person has their function in the particular field and they all have a particular role. So each person's role is unique, only they can do it. A doctor cannot do a teacher's job, a teacher cannot do a doctor's job, like that. So that role is unique to that person. So as per Lundberg, the definition is, it is a pattern of behavior expected of an individual in a particular group of situation. So based on what your education is, what your qualification is, you have a pattern of behavior and you do that behavior or role in the particular situation. When you do a particular work, there can be conflicts. That is called role conflict. What is conflict? Conflict means fight or misunderstanding. In your own classes, out of 15 students, there are conflicts, there are fights between you, misunderstandings. One person is not happy about other people and other people are not happy about different people. So within 15 of you, if there is a role conflict, just imagine in the whole society how many conflicts will be there. There are conflicts based on religion, conflicts based on income levels, conflicts based on type of work that you do. So let's see what are the causes of conflict, role conflict. Dissimilarity in the society. I already told, religious differences. We see in India there are a lot of fights between Hindus, Muslims. Other countries there are fights between Christians and Muslims. And in the US recently we see that there is a lot of fight between black people and white people. So when there is dissimilarity in the society, it can cause role conflict. Then different roles by the same person in different groups. For example, in college you are a student, at home you are a daughter or son, and in the bus you are a passenger. So when you have different roles, there can be conflicts because you are not able to cope with the different roles that you play. Then two people have same roles. For example, 15 of you are classmates, 15 of you are students in the same course. So when you have the same type of role, there can be conflict because each of you want to do the role in a different way. Okay, so when some role is below the status of a person, there can be conflict. For example, if you all wanted to become a doctor and you are studying medical sociology, then in your mind there is a conflict. You think that this course is below your dignity or below your status. So that can be cause of role conflict. And differences in one's idea of their role and other people's idea of their role. For example, a physician assistant, for example, may think that they are doctors, but a doctor who has done MBBS may not think a physician assistant is a doctor. So there is the same role, different people have different ideas. So there can be conflicts. So these are the causes of role conflicts. Next we'll see status. You would have heard in your life people mentioning status. Okay, so let's see what the definition of status and what is social status. Status is the position of an individual in the society. So we studied what a role is. Role is that work that the person does. So status is the position that the person has in the society. So every person in a society has status. You all have status. In your home, you have the status of a daughter or son. Your parents have the status of father or mother. I have the status of a teacher or principal. A person working in the hospital has the status of a doctor. So like that, every person in their work, in their society, have a status. So what is the definition of status? Status is the worth of a person as estimated by a group or a class of persons. So for example, what do you think of a doctor? Do you think a doctor is a great person who has done MBBS? Maybe. Some of you may think an MBBS person is a great person who has achieved something in life. So you keep them in a high status. But the Prime Minister of India, what does he think of the doctor? He may think of the doctor in a different way. Or a super specialist doctor who has done MCH or DM, what he thinks of a MBBS doctor, he may think MBBS doctor does not know anything. So different people may think about the worth of the person in a different way, but what they think about the person is called the status. Okay, so there are two types of status: ascribed status and achieved status. We have already studied this previously. Ascribed means what you get at the time of birth. So in ascribed status there is no change. You cannot change your ascribed status. For example, if you are the only child of your parents, you cannot change that situation. And if you are born in a poor family, immediately you cannot change it. So if you are born in a rich family, you cannot change that status. So ascribed status is what an individual gets at the time of birth, and there is no choice in changing this status. This status is conferred or given to that person by the society, and your status at birth may depend on your sex, your age, your caste, and your color. Okay, so this is by birth what you get, and each of us by birth have a particular status in society, and that is determined by our sex, age, caste, or color. Then next is the achieved status. Achieved status is what we are all trying to do. We are all trying to achieve something in our life. So it is a status which each person achieves by their own effort. We put in our effort to achieve something. A man who is born in a low caste may achieve, because of his own efforts, he may achieve and become the prime minister of a country which is a high status. Same way, people can achieve in different areas like sports, music, drama, or in the workplace by being a doctor, judge, engineer, collector. So all these are considered to be achievements. So this is through the efforts of the individual. It comes through hard work of the individual person and not because of his birth. So achieved status can be changed. A collector can become the prime minister, and a prime minister can become a poor person. So achievements can change over time, but ascribed status is fixed. It is based on your birth. Okay, so that is social system. So social system, you should know the definition, characters, elements of social system, the three main elements: the act, the actor, and then you have to understand what is the role and role conflict and the status, types of status. Hope you understood this class. See you in the next class.